Now at 5, the Rhode Island Health Department is addressing growing concerns about the Zika virus.
We've been tracking the spread of Zika for months, and worries have spiked in the last week, with the CDC now saying that mosquitoes have infected more than a dozen people in Florida. Eyewitness News reporter Kim Kalunian got an update from Rhode Island's health director about the state's efforts to combat Zika.
She's live in the newsroom with the details, new at 5.
The director of the Rhode Island Department of Health says the best defense against Zika for people who are here is to stay educated and aware about the virus and how it's being spread. Cases of the Zika virus are popping up across the United States, including right here in Rhode Island. But Health Department Director Dr. Nicole Alexander Scott says it's important to remember that the virus is not being spread locally.
There have been 18 cases of Zika in Rhode Island residents. However, these cases were all travel related.
Mosquitoes that transmit Zika have most recently been discovered in a neighborhood in Miami, Florida. Dr. Alexander Scott says pregnant women should think twice before heading there.
We do advise women who are pregnant or thinking about being pregnant to avoid travel to areas where Zika virus is actively being transmitted.
The Zika virus has been linked to birth defects, particularly microcephaly, a condition where a baby's head is abnormally small. Dr. Alexander Scott says Florida is working hard to keep the spread of Zika-transmitting mosquitoes under control. Here in Rhode Island, she says there hasn't been a need to spray for mosquitoes in several years. Instead, she says they're using federal funds and other resources to help promote awareness about mosquito-borne illnesses and how people can protect themselves.
Stay aware, become educated, continue to be educated, and that's why we want to be available.
And Dr. Nicole Alexander Scott didn't just talk about the Zika virus today. She also talked about West Nile virus, which was found in local mosquitoes just last week. Coming up new at 6, we'll tell you what important message she has about that. Reporting live in the newsroom, Kim Kalunian, Eyewitness News.
The Zika virus is causing panic in South Florida as non-travel related cases pile up.
Here in Rhode Island, there are also concerns. And new at 6, the other mosquito-borne viruses you should be on alert for. Eyewitness News reporter Kim Kalunian joins us to explain more.
That's right. Zika is not the only mosquito-borne illness on the health department's radar. They're also concerned about West Nile virus, which was found in local mosquitoes just last week. Health Department Director Dr. Nicole Alexander Scott says it's important to be in the know about the spread and prevention of mosquito-borne illness.
Stay aware, become educated.
With Zika transmission confirmed in Miami, Alexander Scott is reminding Rhode Islanders there are local cases of the virus, but it is not being spread locally.
These cases were all travel related.
Experts say mosquito species known in Rhode Island cannot carry the Zika virus, but they can spread other diseases. A mosquito sample in Pawtucket last week tested positive for West Nile virus.
This finding of West Nile virus has only been in a mosquito, not in a human being. And it's not unusual for this time of year for us to find mosquito traps that are positive for West Nile virus.
Alexander Scott says Rhode Islanders should protect themselves against local mosquitoes and be vigilant about where they travel.
Avoid travel to areas where Zika virus is actively being transmitted.
And Dr. Alexander Scott says the Department of Health website is a great resource for more information on Zika and other mosquito-borne illnesses. To find out more, you can visit our website, WPRI.com. Kim Kalunian, Eyewitness News.
And you can learn more on how to protect yourself from mosquito-borne illnesses, as Kim just said, on WPRI.com.